I could stay like this, forever following you. Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see. I just want us to always be.
Hello everyone, Abby here at Purple Cottage Crafts. Welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. This one is going to be about my tea bag pocket folios. Now 3 of these I started back in early February, and originally they were going to be my tea bag pockets, and that was it. Because they kind of evolved into something more than just a pocket, so I kind of put these off to the side so I could finish working on my actual tea bag pocket video tutorial, and I'll link that one below in case you haven't seen that one yet. So these 3 were pretty much constructed, and I just kind of had them off to the side, and then when I was going through some older footage, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to finish working on this particular project. So in the clips you're going to see after this intro, you're going to see me working on this little tea bag pocket folio that I put together. So I'll share with you these 3 here like this, and then what I'll do is at the end of the video I'll come back on and then I will actually show you everything up close and personal. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an intro since it's going to jump right on into a tutorial. So these again are my little tea bag pocket folios, and I looked up the definition of a folio because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to call these. It's a book or pamphlet made up of 1 or more full sheets of paper, and then they're folded in half. So I think that this probably gets right under the line of it being a pocket folio. I like how it sounds, whatever you want to call them. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But here they are up close here, and I'll show you the insides at the end of this video. Oh, I smashed that one down. There we go. And then this cute little one with the girls on it, Timmy's paper dolls, and then this is the one that you're going to see me constructing. Now I do have some footage of me working on these 3 here in different stages, but as far as this 3rd or 4th one, it's from beginning to the very end, so you kind of have more of a tutorial than just like little pieces and clips of videos from February and early March. So all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the intro. I hope you enjoy the tutorial, and I will see you at the end of the video. Bye for now. Okay, so I thought I would go ahead and check in and let you know where I am so far. So I have the front cover piece done, at least for now. I'm going to come back in and probably do a little more stitching up here with a different colored thread or something. But here is the front cover piece so far. And then I added some book page in just for another element, or not book, it's a music sheet paper, vintage music sheet paper. Anyway, I put that in there just so you kind of see little peeks of it, and I like that. And then to get the paper dolls to stick on there, I just stitched around the waistband of their dresses where the like the satin bow was, and I just took some pink and then kind of just stuck it on there. So they would stay. I thought that was kind of cute. And I did this before on this project. I haven't done a video for this one yet, but that one's coming up. I'm not sure if you'll see this first or that one. But yeah, there it is. I really like it. And I kind of, I've been learning with doing the slow stitching that I make my pieces a little bit wider, a little bit longer than I normally would if I wasn't going to slow stitch them, because the fabric kind of, shrinks up there when you put all these different stitches in it and stuff. So that's why, if you notice, it's a little bit smaller, and that's what I was wanting. So I think that looks really good. Now the back piece is a little bit wider, and I think it's gonna look really cool. So what I did on this one, I forgot to share with you. You see those, how it's on, how it kind of overlaps like it's a blanket stitch or whatever? That I did that on purpose. I love how that looks. And then I also have it up, oh, this side. This is the side where you see more of it. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm pointing at. Let me grab this larger needle just to kind of point. So like right there, I just did that over the top. I think that looks really cool. Just adds another layer of some visual texture. And when you're holding, this little in your hand, you can kind of feel it too. I think that's kind of cool. So I will be repeating that on this side. And this is where I am thus far. At this point, I don't really plan to put anything else onto the back of this, but we'll see. Okay, so I kind of got another idea, and I wanted to document and kind of share with you where my creative process is kind of going. So I have the back one that I finished off with you guys in the last clip. So I have those two here still, the two front ones. I haven't stitched them on or glued them on yet. I really want to strengthen this. I'm calling this the spine, so to speak. It's just the real frail paper in between that attaches the two tea bags separately, and or together, I mean. So I was looking through some different things I had. I pulled out this one that I had from the intro part of the video, and I think that looks cute, but like I really want to have some kind of stability going this way. So I just looked over at some of my stuff, and that I like to have my things laying out so I can kind of get inspired by that. And I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to use some of this vintage lace that I have. So when it matches, it's the same kind of colors, at least it does for me tonight. We'll see tomorrow morning. But I think what I'm going to do is just kind of stitch on this bit of lace, and then I'll make sure I have enough allowance for when it folds over. But I kind of like how that looks, I think. And I haven't looked at it from the inside view yet, so let's do that together. I'm trying to hold these on there because they're not stitched to the covers yet, but I think that kind of looks good. I wanted to see if it was a little bit over. Let me move these out of the way for a second. I wanted to see if you could see the top part of the lace poking through because of how it kind of curls in. So let me try this again. Okay, so this would be the inside. So yeah, you can kind of see it peeking out to the top there. I think that's really cute. So I think what I'll do is kind of focus and push this down a little bit more. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. So I can have just a little peek of the lace poking through. Now this might be a detail somebody else might like, may not want to highlight or, you know, do an extra step just for that. But for me, it's always all about the details. Nothing against anybody else who doesn't do that. Everybody has their own creative process, and I think it's awesome. But for me, I like having little bits of details where, like, you can see this peeking through on the front side when you put your papers and you open up and you see it. That's just something I like to add to my projects. And also, it's going to add, like I mentioned, some stability to the spine, so to speak, of the little, oh, sorry, I forgot I was zoomed in so far. I was like, all I can see is lace. What's going on? So yeah, I think that's gonna look really cute. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of do some slow stitching to put this together. And then what I want to do, because I haven't stitched the side yet, I'm just gonna kind of fold these down, you know, a little bit, and then I put this on here, and I'll be able to, you know, stitch this on going this direction across the bottom and the top, and then onto this side. And I'll probably do some stitching on the spine too, so I can kind of see some of the I'll probably do like the X or blanket stitch or something, because I don't want to go straight up and down where on the perforation, because I don't want it to break apart. And like I said, did I say this in the beginning? These tea bags come together like this. I can't remember if I said that or not. But yeah, oh, sorry, my phone's on, I forgot to turn it down. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I think that's gonna look really cute to kind of have the slow stitch, because it's gonna give me some more visual texture of the floss here and whatever it is I decide to put down the middle. So I think it's gonna be a really cute idea. So I'm excited to get this cut down, and I will start stitching this together. Oops, start stitching this on, and then I'll come back on camera, probably as a process, and you know, do a little bit more on camera so you can see what I'm kind of doing. So I was going to turn the camera on and show me stitching, I almost said suturing, stitching this on the back side, but I had to hold it up to my light like this direction. You can't even see, because I didn't want to, I wanted to try to stay as far away as I could from the perforation between the two tea bags. So I just did a, you know, just a real simple cross stitch down, you know, the middle, and then I purposely put the knots in the middle on the front side, because I like how that looks. I think it's just kind of a cool little, you know, whatever. And so what I'm going to be doing now is just going through and stitching the tops and the sides, like the top, and then the sides down. Sorry, I'm like, my brain is like, I need to stop and go to bed. But anyway, so I'm going to do the sides and then the bottom, and then I'll come back in and focus on decorating the front parts and putting my little paper tags and stuff inside. So I just kind of wanted to tell you this point in case I forget to tell you tomorrow. And yeah, so there's that. So I will see you all in the next clip. Okay. I cannot help myself. I was gonna stop and try to go upstairs and lay down and, you know, try to fall asleep. It's about 12:20 a.m. so it's, I don't know why I thought I could fall asleep, because I typically don't until about 3 to 4 in the morning because of my face. Ugh. So what I'm doing is just kind of watching an old movie on TV, and I thought, well, let me turn the camera back on and I'll just kind of, you know, film myself, I guess, doing this, because I don't want to call this like a tutorial, so to speak, but, you know, I need to actually be showing you what I'm doing, not just the process portion and whatnot. So I already went ahead and did the stitching, the spine, my spine with these two tea bags. Now I was going to film me doing that, but I had to hold the tea bags up to my light like this so I could make sure that I was actually getting in. I didn't want to go down the perforation, which is exactly down the center. I wanted to kind of stay here and in here. So I wasn't able to film that part, unfortunately, but you know. So what I'm doing now is just going down the side. I went onto the top. I'm on the side now, but I went to the top up here. You can kind of see the stitches. And then what I'm doing now is going down the side, because I want to close off these two sides so it's a pocket. And and I'm just, you know, using some of the cotton floss. I think I have 3 strands on there now, and just kind of just doing a simple, I don't know, a seed stitch, I don't know what you want to call it, just kind of down the side. And I'm purposely not doing that piece. I love how that's naturally curling over. I like it. I think it looks kind of cool. So I'll go down on this side here, and then I'll be going down along the bottom and then back up over here to the top. And then once I have this closed and I have everything all stitched on, then I will come back through and trim this down. I want to wait. I don't want to trim this off, the sides off, pretty much for the same reason that I explained about why I'm not putting the front covers on yet, because I want to wait until I'm done. Maybe I want to add something to this to make a closure. I don't know, who knows. So that's why those are so long right now. So, and I completely forgot, by the way, because I got buried under something else. I had every intention to use this, not this part, but just this part right here, because I liked how that looked on the cover, but I completely forgot because I was going to stitch this to this. But so I'll save that for a different project. I could still add it, but it's not going to look the way I want it to look. So, okay, let me see if I need to zoom in a little bit more so you can see me doing this. Okay, so let me share with you what I've done so far. So I just did some stitching on this side here, and then these are the two tops of the tea bag that I did some stitching. Nothing fancy, you guys. You know, I'm still trying to learn different types of embroidery stitches and stuff like that. So just super simple for me. Plus, I didn't want to do too much some of the different flowers and things that I've been learning to do on this delicate of substrate, I guess you could say, for this particular project. So just kind of did that, and this is intentional. Normally when I have my tie-offs and I have the thread, it's usually like on the bottom in the back or whatever. I wanted to kind of flip it around this time, so I like that the fact that the strings are the threads are sticking up. I like how that looks. So I've already loaded my needle with some of this thread that I picked up at a thrift shop. So I don't know what color or brand it is, but that's one of the ones I picked up and thought I would kind of match with this color fairly well. So I have the front figured out. The inside spots, not so much, but that's okay. That's kind of the fun part, is the whole creative, the composition building that you want to do. So what I have here are a few layers. Here's that coffee dyed pink peony paper. Then I have this scrap of, I almost said lettuce, lace right there. I don't know. I have no idea why I almost said lettuce. I have no idea. Anyway, and then just another piece of that coffee dyed fabric. This is the book piece I shared. And then this is another little snippet of the same fabric. This is from the edge of something. I don't remember what piece right here. And I kind of like the idea of it being over top of these elements here. So I'm going to stitch this one on last. And the reason I'm not stitching directly to the tea bag, which is what I've mentioned in my tuck spot and my other videos, is because I tried it once and it was a total disaster. This is a pocket and I want to keep that. So instead of stitching directly to the front like this, I would go through and it would close off that pocket. I don't have the skill set apparently to, let me get this back open again here, sorry. To, oh my goodness, there it is. There. To just stick this on the front and just stitch and go in and out of this little bit. I can't do that. I tried it before, like I said, and I messed it up terribly. So that's what I'm choosing to do, is to go ahead and stitch this off the tea bag and then, you know, stitch this piece on here, and then I will just use some score tape to adhere it to the tea bag, which is what I've been doing for my other tea bag projects, and it's been working out just fine. So let me kind of get myself situated over here. Got my needle ready. Okay, so I kind of want to align these again since I kind of played with it. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so I know for sure this is my base paper, okay, and I like how that looks right there. And then we'll put this little bit of lace kind of poking up over here. And then my scrap of fabric. Put it right here. I really want that lace to poke out on the left side. I like how that looks. And the paper. And this, of course, will shift a little bit as I'm stitching, but just the general composition, the basic form here. And then have this like right there, I'm thinking is what I like. But I want it to be kind of staggered. I don't want it to be too, you know, symmetrical or whatever. Kind of like that. And then I have the option to put on one of the little word or phrase stickers from Tim Holtz if I want to, or just leave it playing like I did on this one here. So I haven't decided yet. Okay, so I got myself all loaded up, the needle, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of start stitching this together. So I'm gonna grab it like this and we'll see how well it's gonna stay. Now I'm not doing like I said before, I'm still learning a handful of different embroidery knots and flowers and stuff. So I wanna practice more before I share in a video, because I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. But so I want to wait until I'm more comfortable with that. That's too insecure, I guess, to kind of mess with it right now, because like I said, I don't know how to embroider or anything, but I'm learning and I think I'm doing pretty good, but just not there yet. So what I'm going to do is I haven't decided if I want to do like a full-on seed stitch like I did on here, which is kind of hard to tell. This is a better view. Like that, I think I love how it looks too, or if I just want to do just some basic border, you know, type of running stitch type of thing. So I will kind of decide that, figure that out here in just a second. Okay, so I have the front piece done there, and I left my tails long because I like to leave them in a lot of my projects, like, you know, journals and that kind of stuff. And once I get the whole piece complete, if it feels like I need to cut something back, then I'll do like a trim at that point. But for now, I just kind of left them long, so I like how that looks. Okay, so this is a front cover, and then here's the back. Now, in some of my other little folios, I've made the front cover and the back cover kind of matchy-matchy, just like, you know, like using the same different, you know, textiles and fabrics and thread colors and stuff like that. This one not so much, just kind of plain in the back, but it still goes with the front cover. And then this purple one here, I just use the same fabric that I use on the front. So since I'm pulling just strictly from this little snippet bucket I have, I don't have any more of this floral fabric here aside from these few little scraps. So I have like this long scrap piece, and of course the two little ones that I used on the front cover, this larger one which I want to use on the inside, and this strip here. And this is going to be used for the closure, so I want to save that one too. So I have the same paper from the front and the back. Oh, that gold piece is down there. And it's going to go right there. And so what I was thinking is just taking a section of this one and then putting it on the back right there. And I really want this part, this strip right here, to go more than on this end, because the front has that. Oh, let me zoom in a little bit, sorry. There we go. Now you can see what I'm talking about. So I want it to go this way, like that, because the greenery in this piece coincides with the greenery on the front. So I'll snip that down to this, and then I'll use this again on the inside for part of my tags and stuff. Now I don't have any more of the actual little piece of paper that I used on the front. That was just a scrap from something different, but it's paper, coffee day paper. So I thought it'd be, I go and kind of dig into my little stash that I have here and just find another piece of book page. That doesn't have to be the same exact type of, you know, from the same book or anything like that. It's because it's just coffee dye paper with some script on it. So I'm just looking for some smaller pieces. I don't have to tear up a larger one. Let's see what I can find here. Here's a smaller piece right here. We'll use this one. I can save these for another project. So what I dug out is this one right here. I could also even use some of this script or this text fabric here, but I'm going to save that for another part. So, and let's see, let me go ahead and get this trimmed down so I can kind of get an idea. I'm trying to stay in frame. I can go out just a little bit. You can kind of see a little more what I'm doing here. There we go. Okay, so I want this to be like that. Now, do I want this to hang over? So this is where I kind of get my, not that it slows me down. I don't know the right word to use, but I'm so into the details of stuff that sometimes it might slow me down a little bit, but you know, again, there's no rush or anything. So what I'm checking to see is if I like this little bit of fabric overhang or not, and I don't think I will. So, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of a margin because it does, as I mentioned earlier, the fabric does shrink up as you're stitching on it. So I'll save that for another component on the inside. Okay, so I keep catching the threads on my fingers. Okay, so the paper goes there, and then this is going to go here. I don't have another piece of the lace, the net lace that I use here, or another scrap of this different lacing edge. Now I'm going to be using some of this on the inside, but I don't want to use it on the back side. I just kind of want to stick with the same components as much as I possibly can with the front, so it's kind of like a unified piece. So this is just another piece of paper. I'm trying to make sure it's not like some weird word on there or anything. Okay, so I might have to tear this down just a little bit. We'll see, because I don't know if I want it to cover the whole entire you know, back. I do want some of the paper to show through, but I think I might like that actually. Put it back on there. Yeah, I think I like how that looks. So I'm just going to give my piece of paper a quick distress here. And I said earlier I was going to use frayed burlap, but I ended up using vintage photo, and you can really see that because it's an older mini distress pad that I have. So just going to give this a little quick ink on the edge. that little bit. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, enough with the inking, Abby, enough. So I'm going to be using the same floss that I used on the front, which is this here. I've already went ahead and threaded my needle because that's not exciting to watch. Okay, so I like how that looks, and I'm just going to go ahead. Now, sometimes what I've done in the past is I'll just take, you can definitely just go ahead and start stitching on this if you want to. But what I have done on a few others is I just take this, is my favorite glue stick, by the way. I take this and I just put just a little tiny bit, I'm not covering it from edge to edge. I'm basically just kind of just doing a little bit in the center just so it has a little bit of tack to it, and it kind of stays still for me so it doesn't wind up being crooked. Because that's not really the look I'm going for on this particular project. So make sure the words are right side up, Abby, and they are. That just gives a little bit of a tack, so it just kind of stays there for me until I get the rest of the pieces stitched together. So, and I've never had any issue so far, knock on wood, with my needle becoming gummy or tacky from the glue, because I just don't really have that much on there. Okay, so let's see here. I kind of like it like that. Okay, so set up here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a few stitches as I'm chatting with you, and then I'm going to turn it back into a process video because, you know, it is slow stitching, and I'm a slow crafter, and I don't want to make you guys, I want this to be some kind of a painless process where you're like, oh my goodness, how many times are we getting, how long are we going to have to sit here and watch Abby stitching something? So just to kind of talk you through the thought process behind how the back cover is going to look on this project. And that's kind of how it's going to be, I think, for that. And then I'm going to focus on the inside. So you're going to see me using some of the fabric scraps that I shared a moment ago on the inside for the folio part, and then the different tags I'm going to be sticking into the pockets. So. Okay, we are almost done with this video, ladies and gents. So this is what I have so far. It's the front cover. There's like a little flap or spine, whatever you want to call it. And then the back side. And then on the inside, I went ahead and made little front pockets here. So I used score tape. I'm not sure when I'm going to insert the picture of me putting score tape on both of these pieces and the front panels, but if I haven't already, I'll do it now as I'm talking about it. And I just made some little pockets so I can put some little, you know, inspiration strips or little bits of paper in there. And I have, then I've got little pockets up here and on this side as well. So I'm going to be working on that now. I thought it might be fun to kind of do this part like when I'm chatting with all of you. So this might be a little bit longer because I'm talking, but that's okay. It's okay. You have all told me, most of you, you like my longer videos anyway. So I just get worried about it. I don't know why. I wish I could cut that part out of my personality. Well, that's one thing I wish I could. And I worry about stuff, and I need to not do that. So, okay, let's go. So what I was thinking is using some of the papers that coordinate with the front. So I'm going to cut some this paper down down a little bit, and then this paper here that I coffee dyed. I'm gonna have a separate video on where the original state of this, or what it's from, in another video. But I love that sound. So I'm gonna use some of that, I believe. And let's see, I have some smaller bits in here of coffee dye paper. These are the cutoffs of the books, little notepad journal things that I made for my mother-in-law's 70th birthday party. I'll have a separate video on that because I filmed everything that I made. And so anyway, so for one of the theme tables, it was books. I just made little quick books like this, and these are just my little template sizes because they need to be a certain size for that table. So anyway, so these are the offcuts from that project that I did. So I might want to use maybe some of these, maybe like fold them in half. Let's see. Let's go ahead and fold one in half right now and see how it looks. Because I don't measure. I really don't. I eyeball a lot of stuff. And if I'm making like a dimensional project or something, then I of course will measure like for journals and that kind of thing, but mostly I just kind of eyeball stuff. So that's kind of cool like that, so I can kind of figure out where I'm at. All right, so let's see, I like a little bit of the top to peek out. I think it looks kind of cute that way. Like on this one here, you can kind of see some of the the tabs and the different tags sticking up. I like how that looks. So measure that, and then what if I did this business with it? How would that look? Well, I don't know. Let's just kind of see. So put these like that. Give that a nice crease there. But I have to be careful because I don't want to make this top part so bulky. Let me zoom in a little bit, sorry. That I can't utilize this front pocket here. So let me grab something smaller. It's already kind of... this isn't a very good example, Abby. It's not thick enough, to get it to go in there. Well, let me just use one of these. Not a big deal. So let's tear one of these down. Let's fold this in half. Let's do this one. And I do talk to myself like this, even if I'm Skyping with doing Skype crafting, or if I'm filming, I talk. And when I'm crafting by myself, I talk. I've always talked to myself. All right, so let's see if I like how that looks. Because I could do is like pull this down just a little bit like that. And then that could be there, but then that's going to actually flip this up and you could pull that one out. Yeah, I like how that looks for that side. Okay, and these aren't the finished, these aren't the actual papers I'm going to use. These are kind of like placeholders, I guess you could say. All right, and for this side, sorry guys, I keep forgetting to turn my phone down before I start filming. Hope that's not too annoying. It's going to go twice. So I was going to stop real quick and mute my phone. Here, so sorry about that. There we go. Put it on vibrate. All right, so this is a good size for this one, for this width, I believe. I like that. So let me do this a little bit thinner. I don't always make my tags, just like a smidge and, okay, I'm trying to say here. So I don't always make my tags go from here to here, the whole length of the pocket opening, if that makes any sense. So, sometimes I like to put like, smaller, or maybe two smaller tags or papers or something in there. So anyway, I'm not sure that makes sense or not. All right, so there is that. So that looks okay. So I'm just going to kind of tear this one off here. I mean, I'm going to use these papers, but I'm not going to leave them like that. Okay, so now for this one, let's use part of a tag or something. That'd be kind of cute. Pull out. Okay, that one's already started for another project, so I don't want to use that one. What about this one? Okay, this one looks good. And this, oh, I don't want to forget to use this paper too. Oh, and the other one I pulled out. Oh, Abby. Okay, so these are just some layaway tags that I coffee dyed and put in the oven. So let's see here. What part do I want to use? Let's use the bottom. Put put that over there. And then, all right, so let me kind of gauge the width of this one here, and probably faster and easier if I did measure, but you know, on projects or components like this, I don't really do that. I apologize if the lighting's kind of bad. I know there's some shadows and stuff. It's evening now, so I have to use my hot light on the table. But once my rooms are done, I promise you it's going to be better lighting. So, all right, so that's like the perfect width for this, for the both of these sides, because they're exactly the same. So that'll be good. So let's see. Let me tear out what I want to do. I'm going to go like one of my little fold-out things that I do. So let's tear it up to here. So I have enough room for what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's mark it, because I want this to be inside. So if this goes, let me make a little fold right there. And this is a peek into Abby's measuring of what I do. So let's see, which side do I like better? This side showing or this side? Let's do on this side. And just kind of tear this a little bit. Okay, let's make sure I didn't make this, I don't think I made that small enough. Maybe. Let's tear this a little bit off here. Oh, for goodness sakes. There we go. I have an appointment to get my nails done tomorrow. I'm so excited. Cannot wait, because I need to feel really bad. All right, so I think that's a little too high for me. Just my personal taste. If you like it if you like sticking up that much, that's great. But for me, it's a little bit too high. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to take some from the bottom, because I want this writing to kind of show. So let me just tear a little bit off the bottom and see how that looks. Get it in there. See if it's still too high, just a little bit. So we'll just tear off a couple little lines here. And then I keep these papers too, my little off pieces, because I can use, they're perfect to use for when you're doing collage bits, or you know, the toppers for tags and that kind of thing. Okay, let me pull this one out so I can kind of get a really good visual. And yeah, I'm happy with that, because you can see just the top part of the writing and the stubby left, the perforation from taking the take apart. So that's good. So what I want to do now then is, because this is just a little bit not as wide as the other. Where's my trimmer? So I don't want to tear this paper on the sides. I want it to be kind of a smooth edge. So I can zoom you out just a little bit so you can don't have to stare right at the grid. Let's see. All right, so let me just trim this down just a smidgen here. Do you like my technical terms? A smidgen. Wait, there we go. Wait a second. Ah, why is that crooked? Oh, there. Oh, I know why. I know why that's crooked. Because I use the other. I tore a piece of this off for another project. So that's why it was being all wonky. Because the bottom wasn't square and flush. All right, let's try here. And if I take too much off, I have more of those papers, or I can just adjust. So let's see how this looks. Okay, so maybe just a little bit more. Oh my goodness, I'm like 11 minutes in and I've barely done anything on this part. This is where I get not stressed out, but I worry. I don't know why. I don't know what my problem is. I guess I'm just really self-conscious because of the fact that I know that I'm slow when I'm crafting. All right, just a little bit more and then I'll be good. And I have OCD, so I'm being a little bit anal retentive here right now with this. But if I don't get it like I like it, then I'm gonna not love it. And I wanna love what I create. All right, that should be close enough. Put you back over there on the kitchen counter. Sounds funny to say. Put my trimmer on the kitchen counter. All right, so I want the writing, the wording, from on the tag here where it says today, or excuse me, total, and then the price. I don't want to cover that up if I can help it. So let me do this. I think what I'll do is just show you this part real time, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of the process because I'm just so worried it's going to be so long and nobody's going to want to watch the whole thing. So, all right, so I'm just going to take this and fold this back and forth, you know, accordion style here. And doesn't have to be precise, too precise, which probably sounds weird for me to say that since I just was trying to be so precise with the cutting the, you know, getting the width down. But for this, all right, what I'm going to do is go ahead and just use some score tape to put on the underside of this. So it will go ahead and just kind of pull out like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on the other inserts for my other pockets I have here. But I'll do that part on process. So I will see you in just a little bit. Okay, so you might hear the laundry going in the background. Laundry room is over that away. So if you do, I apologize for that. So what I'm working on now is work. I think I filmed this. I can't remember because it's been a little bit since I did the last clip. Been up doing laundry and doing a little bit of housework and took a little break because I wasn't feeling very good. But anyway, I'm back now. Just explain why I didn't remember what I just showed you a few moments ago. So this is just one of the layaway tags that I've coffee dyed, and then I'm pretty sure I showed you how I came up with this part. I mean, not like how I put it together is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to imply like, oh, I just came up with this. Nobody else has ever done this before. That's not what I mean. I just meant how I put it together, I guess. So I just have a bit of a coffee dyed doily. Where'd I put my bag of paper? Oh, here it is. I already have it pulled out. I forgot. So this is some coffee dyed and oven baked paper, and I love how that edging looks. So it's not really necessary for me to have a little tab to pull this up like that, but I just like how it looks. That was kind of fun and cute. So I'm just getting ready to tie off of this, and I'm just doing some random stitching, nothing fancy, nothing anything. So let's see, let's do one more. Let's go back this way, and we'll go back down one more time, and then I'll be done. And I know the shadows are bad. I'm so sorry. Oh, let's see. Let's go off this way. And end it over there. Okay. So I'll get this tied off, and then next I will work on making more of the pockets to kind of finish this project off. Hey everyone, now I'm recording the outro. This is so weird because I usually do that when I'm finishing up the tutorial part. So since per the intro that you've already watched, this has been kind of like a long time coming kind of a project for me. So this is the one you watched me just put together. So we'll go over this one first. I just have a little length of some sari silk, and I just tied little knots in the end. Kind of cute and kind of sweet. These ones actually have closures attached to the tea bags, but I did not want to do that with this one, so because I did a little something different on the spine of this one. Okay, so there is that. And then what I did different from the other three is I made like a little flap kind of a spine, and I did just some random stitching. Let me move these out of the way so you can actually see it better. And we zoom in. There we go. Okay, so this is on the front. Now this is just one tea bag, and then I just stitched this. It was like originally like this, and then I just did some stitching here, as I already said. And then on the inside, did some really fun little bits of doing some slow stitching, using up some bits of fabrics and coffee dye papers and some tags and stuff like that for the inside. So there's the cover. And I left these long. I talked about this as I was doing the tutorial portion, or not really tutorial, just kind of having you watch me as I craft, I guess you could say. And I like the length of them, so I'm going to go ahead and leave those there. And you can see all little bits of stitching right there and some little bits of lace. And then on the inside, we kind of have the same detail. And I'll show you the back side here real quick. And then we'll get right into, I just love how this looks. It's so pretty. And then I'll show you the inside. Let me zoom in just a tiny bit. I hope this isn't like rushed, this part. I'm trying to get this filmed before my husband gets back from picking up dinner. So I want to get this done before the daylight's totally gone. So what I showed in the tutorial portion how I made little pockets. I won't go over that again. Here are just some coffee dyed bits of paper for just like doing some little journaling. And just kind of tuck those back in there. And then the same thing here. More of those same papers. And then this is just some a different type of coffee dyed paper. So I got little strips or little bits like that. And what I'm calling these, because I have like my inspiration strips, which are my longer, strip-like type of paper, and then I'm calling these my inspiration bits because they're so tiny. It's a perfect place just to jot down, maybe a Bible verse or a quote, or attach, you can even tuck in movie tickets, stubs, receipts, all that kind of stuff. And so this one here is a coffee dyed layaway tag, and this is coffee dyed doily. Just did some little bit of stitching here, left the strings long because I like that. And then this just pulls out like this. So you have, all of this to write on and journal on, or attach photos if you want to. Thought that was kind of fun little interactive thing. And that one's going to go right up here on the top. I don't think I can't remember if I filmed me doing that because I had to start and stop so many different times from, the family coming in and going out and painting one of my craft rooms. Super exciting. But we're repainting the downstairs room. The upstairs room is going to stay the same. And speaking of staying the same, just more of the same papers on this side, just kind of tucked right in there. And you can make your pockets as wide or as deep as you want to. Just kind of depends on the length of your tea bag that you have. So here is the one that I shared with you in this video from pretty much beginning to end. So there is that little tea bag pocket folio. This one here, it's so sweet and so cute. Let me zoom it just a tiny bit because I'm afraid you're not going to be able to see it all. There we go. So here I just used some more of Timmy's paper dolls. And when I'm using his paper dolls on different projects, you'll see from my tea bag tuck spots and my tea bag pocket videos that I just use different, oops, where am I? I just use different cotton flosses, and you can also stitch them to the project too. Here's a little bit of seed stitching here. And then on this spine, I'm calling it the spine, I have a length of lace that goes from front to back. Some more of that sari silk there. I just think this looks so pretty and so cute and little girly like. I just love it. So there's not a stitch of purple on here, but I still love it. So go ahead and tie this one here. And it's going to be kind of the same thing for all of these tea bag pockets folio. Sorry, I had to move my pen over to make sure I was calling the right things. I just kind of came up with the name, like I just decided on the name, I should say. And it's just so cute and sweet. I just love the way it looks inside. It's just so cute. So what I have in here is I just did some simple cross stitching right there. Now this is a tea bag that it's like 2 tea bags. You just kind of do the perforation on it, unless you make like a larger pot and you keep 2. So I just kept these 2 together so I could have, this length to make this little folio. And this is like the little some slow stitching here, and then little bits of paper and some lace bits. And here in this pocket here, I just took some more paper, did a little bit of seed stitching on the corner there. Same thing as you saw with the one I just showed you. This is just a great place to do journaling. You can tuck tickets like I've already said, all kinds of fun stuff, even little stickers for planners and stuff like that. So, and here's that one. I love the dimension and the texture on here. Same thing here. This one has a little pocket in the front. This one, I don't think I made this a pocket, did I? I'm trying to remember. No, I didn't. I just made this side a pocket because I constructed these like a little over a month ago. Just little bits of paper again, more coffee dye paper. And then I just made a little pocket with some more fabric and some salvage edge and did some slow stitching there. And then for this little pocket flap here, just a button. Again, more stitching. I love how that looks on the back side, like the raw, and then just more coffee dyed paper. So really super simple and cute, and I think these would make great gifts for, you know, racks, Happy Mail, that kind of thing, giveaways. This one here is a longer tea bag, and on this one, for the closure, I just have some of this cotton, variegated cotton floss, and then what I did is I stitched back on the tea bag tag and have it stitched to that. Oops. So it's it's attached to the book itself. So here's the front again. This is from, I think this is from Timmy's, one of his wallpapers or something, one of his ephemera packs. I can't remember exactly. And got some vintage lace there. Just did some more fun stitching, basic, because, you know, I'm still learning on trying to learn new embroidery knots and flowers and that kind of stuff. But just really super cute. And this is actually vintage lace from a vintage handkerchief from my grandma's stash. So it's truly vintage. And I just added some green just to kind of go with the floral on the front. Now I did do some French knots. I'm so proud of myself. I did some French knots on the flower. That was really fun and easy. Also being, and not just being a decorative element, it also acts as a way to get the die cut to become one with the cover, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll pull out the first one here, and they're each a little bit different, but they're basic. Like the basic concept is the same. You know, the paper being folded, having like a little bit of, you know, some textile there, and so the pockets aren't as deep on this one. I just wanted to kind of make each one a little bit different if I could, to some degree anyway. And then here's this one. And paper folds out again. I love how that stitching looks. And there's that. And then I'll flip it over and show you the back side. Let me show this little corner first, right there. And I did some stitching on down here too. I think I forgot to tell you that. And then here's the back side. This one's a little bit more simple. It's not as decorated, which I think is totally fine. Not everybody likes to have things with lots of layers and textures and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. So just try to give you options of how you can create your own tea bag pocket folios. And this is the last one. Oh, sorry, my camera went crazy because I was moving my hand too fast. So this is my favorite one. I think we can all tell why. It's got some beautiful purples on it. So I just love this one. It's just so cute. So cute and sweet, I think. So these are some of Timmy's little text stickers, I forget what they're actually called, tiny text, and then another set of his paper dolls. What I did to stitch these ladies to the cover fabric is I just used some of the purple cotton floss, made it look like they had, like, you know, not necessarily a belt, but like a belt or coat, you know what I'm trying to say. So I thought that looked really cute. Just did some more random stitching here, little bits of fabrics, different laces and some paper and stuff like that. And then for my spine again, just some more stitching, more of the sari silk. And on the back side, I just did a lot of over stitching. And it creates this beautiful, beautiful texture. I love how it feels. I'm a very tactile person. I know I say that a lot, but I am. And I really like the feel of things. So I'm having a little bit of difficulty today talking. It's super cold and rainy here, and that kind of weather really affects my facial pain. So I'm sorry if I'm a little stuttery or not being very clear when I'm trying to speak. Here's the inside. Super pretty, right? I love it. It's so pretty. This, I think, is the first one I did as far as my pocket folios, tea bag pocket folios. So I create a little pocket in the front here. Just use some of the scrap material in there. And, oh, this one opens this way. I haven't been inside, I haven't looked inside this one for probably, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. So it's like I'm relearning what I did. Trying to open the papers the wrong way. And then on this side here, just did some little X's, cross stitching there. I thought that was really cute and sweet. And then, and there's plenty of room to add more than just that one piece of paper. I mean, there's a lot of room there. And then for the main pockets up here, I wanted to have these little tabbies because I like how it looks when it's closed. And that's kind of something I've done on 2 of the others that I have. So let's see here. I'll just pull, how many did I do? 2 or 3? Looks like, okay, just a couple. So I'll pull those out. Real super simple. Just took some scraps of the same fabric and did some basic stitching, and just got them onto these coffee dyed sheets of paper. So that I trimmed down. And again, same thing with this one too. You have a lot of room in here to put more than just, you know, that. You can put a little bit of bulk if you want to make maybe like a souvenir coin or something like that. I mean, I don't know. Whatever it is you want to do with it. And then the last pocket here, I just made, use another part of that coffee dyed layaway tag and just made a little journaling spot here and on the back side as well. You can use little paper clips and clip different things to it if you want to, or add more things into the pocket. So I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough of my tea bag pocket folios, and I had a lot of fun making these. I just feel bad that you know, I meant to get this out like a month ago, and with just all the chaos of the house and redoing my craft rooms, and we had a family trip up to Washington last almost about a week and a half ago. We were gone for 4 days, so I didn't have any crafting time then, of course, and making birthday party different decorations and things like that. So I feel like this has been a long time coming project to finish up and to share with all of you. So if you have any questions about how I put together my little tea bag pocket folios, or maybe I skipped through a step that you might want to see, or if I didn't explain something properly or correctly, please let me know in the comment section below, because I would love to answer any questions that you have, or maybe expand on a certain technique or something in my next video. So I'm gonna go and wrap this one up, because I feel like this video is gonna be super long as it is anyway. So happy scrapping, happy planning, happy crafting, and happy crafting with your tea bags. And I will see you all next time. Bye.
I just want